My guest at this time is a hip hop artist coming to you from the Bay Area, San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
California. He just released a collaboration project with Tahir the First. It's called Animal Slavery. It came out this past October. It is available on all digital music platforms right now, and as a matter of fact, this individual made an appearance on the show last year. I believe it was with Vocaz Slick, DJ True Justice. The tour was going
Ah.
on. So
Mm-hmm.
this right here, this is his interview. This is his own interview, his own spotlight. I'm joined with
Mm-hmm.
Z-Man. Welcome back to the show, brother.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for reaching out.
Great to have
Thank
you
you for
here,
reaching out.
man.
Now, and that was, yeah, and that was a great introduction, by the way, too. That was stupendous.
Uh,
Appreciate you.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, man. So we're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
into this animal slavery project, you and Tahij, in a matter of moments.
Yeah,
We're gonna
Tahaj the first.
Tahada
Yep.
first, yes.
Tahaj. Tahaj. Yep.
We're gonna get into this collaboration project with you and him in a bit. But I wanna start with you, man. Learn about your career, you getting started as an MC, as an artist.
Yeah.
Um, Talk about how you what led you into becoming a hip hop artist.
And just, you know, just being, I mean, young as hell. We was all back when we was all young as hell. You know what I mean? Uh, a lot of cartoons, artwork, television, music. You're just hearing music in your house. You know what I'm saying? Your parents and your uncles and your grandpa and grandparents or whoever, and your aunties dancing to, that good soul, and dancing to, that good boogie and funk, and some jazz too, because my grandpa was a jazz man, so I learned early to appreciate that, and a little bit of rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of, I don't know, man. That was my thing every day. You know what I mean? Like just getting up and you go on with the day, then you come home, and then your mama and them is playing records and all that. So that was going on, and then hearing hip hop, though, to be honest, I didn't know what it was. I don't feel like it had an official name even yet. And so, but I was hearing a lot of like, like the dance music. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of like the electric kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like those electric kind of sounds, and then like a little bit of scratching. I would hear that first, and kind of just be attracted to it. And then my cousins, they was doing like pop locking, and my older cousins, they were doing pop locking and the robot. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I was like bugging on that, like trying to do it, but I was whatever. Uh, and I don't know, man. All that stuff right there like attracted me. And then I was hearing a little more like some MCs would get on. You know what I mean? I remember I was at school and kids were singing uh the Sugar Hill Gang song, and and then I remember being at the house, and my mama and her young brother and one of my uncles and other uncles, they was listening to the message. You know what I'm saying? Like really liking that. And Houdini, Curtis Blow, all that. My older cousin loved Curtis Blow. But anyway, I was just hearing more of this instead of like just more R&B grown up music. You know what I'm saying? Like I was hearing more music that kind of sounded like this is my wheelhouse. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
And so, but nah, just time went by, and I was hearing rappers rap, and I was like, whoa, what is this? And like I always say, man, me and my brother looked at each other. We was like, this is us right here. They're talking our language. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I didn't think I was gonna be a rapper though. I just loved it, but I didn't think I was gonna be rapping per se. But I was always freestyling and coming off the head, and I think that led me more into it too. And hearing Too Short and Slick Rick for the first time, that made me want to rap. You know what I'm saying? Those are two like very different artists, but those two made me like go, oh, I kind of want to rap. So I started writing a few raps, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, just writing whatever I could. And I was biting other rappers too, like who I really liked. And I would just write their lines in there too and add a few of mine. And, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, it got serious when I think I got to high school. I just started like really writing my own and coming into my own, you know what I mean? And there was other kids rapping too. And, you know, you kind of just gel with them a little bit, but I don't know. I got serious when I went to. I think I wrote a few rhymes, and my boy was writing rhymes too. And we went over to a homie's house who had a little like 12 track or something like that. So and he dug what we was doing, and so we went over there and just kind of just start rapping and had our raps with us and just bussing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he would record them, put them on tape, and then we get the tape, and then we go do whatever we wanted. And I was letting my friends hear it, and then I was at school, like somebody had a little radio, and I was letting them bump it. I was kind of like sitting there, like you know, kind of nervous about it, but I was like, at the same time, I was like, nah, I want y'all to hear this. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I would meet all these DJ homies, and just it took off from there, man. I don't know. That's like the beginning of it, anyway. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop was so fresh and new and young, like, I mean, junior high, and before that I was breakdancing and everything, and just trying to get in where I fit in. Mm. But I don't know if that answers any of your question. I mean, you asked when did I get the career started, maybe, right? That's just the genesis of it, I guess.
Yes, that's a good enough answer to me. That's pretty much the genesis of what
Yeah, that's the genesis of
inspired
it,
you
even.
and what got you into it. You burst into the scene in '96 with the group 99th
Yeah.
Dimension. And then
Mhm.
2003, you signed to your first label deal, released
Mhm.
the LP, Dope or Dog Food.
Yep.
So you,
With hieroglyphics, yeah.
yeah, so
Hiero Imperium, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So, um, you come from the Bay Area, obviously. The Bay Area, when
Mhm.
you think of the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland area, you think of guys like E40, Too Short,
Mhm.
the whole
Yep.
hyphy movement.
Right.
Everybody was bopping to Tell Me When to Go. And
Yeah.
so, of course, that's literally half of Mount Westmore, Short and 40. So,
Mhm.
obviously you got the LA scene, you got some Sacramento, you
Mhm.
got other areas,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah,
Bay
San
Area,
Jose and all that, and
yeah. So but the Bay Area, they it was different. It was the vibe was
yeah, it's
different.
different.
So
Yeah,
um
it's a different place. Mac Dre, Coog Nut, San Quinn, and you have I mean, just so many other artists, RBL, Posse, and you have Board Stiff, and you had Paris. Um, uh, there's just so many cats. You know what I'm saying? Like, where it's like, I don't know. I mean, you had a variety. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely had the bigger mainstream. Keek the Sneak. You had the Jacka,
yeah.
uh, all these cats, and but you definitely had other people who were doing something different. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you had hieroglyphics, Hobo Junction, and you know, um, just so many other just artists that were like doing something different from everyone. Because you had the street cat. I think it's like this too. Everybody was pretty much street. We all come from some kind of whatever backgrounds. You know what I mean? Seedy, or just kind of like or just poverty. And then you just turn it into whatever it is. I mean, I could definitely be rapping about some thuggish, ruggish bone, or some some thug stuff, or some gangsterish, or just telling these crazy stories. But I don't know. I chose to be like, you know what? I like the skill level of it, of where you're rhyming and talking about different stuff. You know what I mean? Like, mostly my older stuff was me just kind of battle rapping and saying, oh, and just talking about how great I am, and my raps are just perfect, and you know what I'm saying, and I'm so ill, and this and that. I mean, Another group that inspired me too was EPMD, like because I used to kind of sometimes rap real slow like them, and I just love how their competitiveness was, and Big Daddy Kane and Rakim, of course. Rakim, I'll tell you this, dude, real quick. Rakim, when I heard that brother, dude, I was like, that's when I stopped playing. You know what I'm saying? That's when I was like, hold up, dude, things is serious. Let me stop kidding around with this pen and get serious with it. Cause I was like, I mean, I was blown away by what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, the Bay is just a different place, man, where it's just a lot of diversity and just all kind of cats. I mean, a lot of DJs too are here, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I could have definitely took the route of rapping a little more, you know, street and stuff like that. But I was like, you know what? I like what I'm doing. I'm gonna just stick with that, and you know, it just kind of worked out with me, especially when I got with a group, 99th Dimension, which that derived from my drawing because I draw and paint as well. So I was drawing these like comic books, you know, just comics for myself and whoever wanted to see them. But and I named some of them 99th Dimension. Didn't really know where it was going, but I knew it was far out and it was out there and weird and kind of spacey or whatever. And my homie Rick was like, "Yo, we should name the group that." Like, you know, because all of us was rapping, and it was a bunch of us at one time, and we were just kind of all doing our own thing and making these tapes. And he's like, "Yeah, let's get together and make a group." So we just named the group that, and then we just went from there and just started, really making a whole bunch of songs. But we didn't put nothing out until '96, and we all really collectively got together and just made this little crazy tape that kind of got some attention. Like DJ Steph, may she rest in peace. She recognized it, and Rasta Q-Tip and Billy Jam. Those are the people who kind of like blew it up, like and made it something. You know what I mean? Like it came out, and we just kind of just did it, whatever, independently. But they kind of got the word around for us, And then after that, it was just I don't know. We did about 2 tapes, I want to say. And then I kind of just went for myself because everybody was like having babies and trying to do other stuff. And, they felt like rap was too slow for them and, their careers, they wanted to change. You know what I mean? Like just life was happening. And I was the only one who was kind of free of all that, I was getting married at some point, but, whatever. I mean, life, you still going to do your thing, and I think, well, getting back to a couple of things, the group taught me how to rap better, I think, about subject matter more so, instead of just talking about, myself and raps and, all that, which I'll do once in a while, and that's fine. I found a new style to do it, but they kind of taught me, like, oh, yeah, doing it, and then that's when I found myself for real, you know what I mean, like my whole style and everything, and just being in the Bay, you just kind of go, okay, we got the slang, we say this and this and that, but we're just going to do it a little different. So, people would think we was trying to be like, the East Coast or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I think when people say that, they just don't know. But the thing, it's just hip hop, man. Like we ain't trying to sound like the East Coast unless we using their slang and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, or are we trying to be like, yeah, in a certain tone or something. But no, it's just hip hop music. We just loved it so much that we wanted to do it because these are the artists that influenced us. You get what I'm saying? The Bay just has a whole lot of things. You could even do it this way, this way, this way, this way. But they'll got that Bay in you, so it's just can't shake that. It's just a different place, man, definitely. And Frisco, where I'm at, San Francisco, is definitely a different place, and a lot of great artists here too. So. Where are we at? I'm just rambling on. I'm just like, what am I?
It's all good, brother. It's all good, man. Just hearing you and just articulate, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so I'm joined with Z-Man here, representing the Bay Area, San
Hurry.
Francisco. Representing, man. Great to have him on. So, hip hop turns 50 years old this year.
Yeah.
In August the 11th, to be more specific here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you from your perspective as an artist and as a fan. Um, Obviously, hip hop has impacted your life.
Mhm.
And now you've been an artist for quite some time now. What does
Yeah.
hip hop 50 means to you as far as an artist and as a fan? Just what's your thoughts on this milestone for hip hop to
Yeah.
where it was, where it began to where it is now? Just your feelings towards this milestone.
Uh, that's a great question. Well, I feel great about it. I feel proud. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel proud to be a part of something, whether I'm huge or just mid or really underground. It doesn't matter. I've been I contributed my part, and because I love it this much. Uh, Turning 50, that's crazy. That's debatable too, I guess, with some cats, because they're like, it's really this age, it's really this. Oh, but that doesn't matter. I think rounding it off at 50, I mean, that's an achievement, because it could have died like disco. You know what I'm saying? But it's here and it's thriving, and it's just like, I mean, it's a whole different thing from what it was. But what's dope about it is, um, you can keep it however you want to keep it. I guess, you know what I mean. We don't have to necessarily look at the mainstream part of it, you know what I mean, or the business industry part of it to be the the monolith, or not monolith, but the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? We you just live it how you live it and do what you want to do with it. People. I mean, because everybody loves some hip hop. Not everybody. I mean, but it's just the number one, and it to be the number one music right now is pretty. I think that's pretty fly. You know what I mean? Um, maybe back then I would have been like, man, this is whack, because so many people love it, and it's this and this and that, and they don't care. But as time went by, and you grow and you just look at it, from this infancy and where it is now, you're just like, oh wow, this is really great. It's done a lot of things for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, it saved a lot of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we would be doing some. I don't know what we would be doing. I mean, I'd probably be drawing and painting and maybe doing another form of music, I guess. But I- you know, but this just, I feel like we were born at the right time, and this is right on time. You know what I'm saying? Like, being 50 years old, hip hop being 50 is like, I don't know. I mean, it's young still. You know what I mean? Like, but it's a great feeling. I don't know. It's a great time, I think, for it. I mean, and I'm not here to clown the young fools or whatever. And I think it just depends what you're into too. I mean, because there's a lot of arguments about, oh man, but these young cats don't know this and this and that, and they'll know, they whack. Yeah, a lot of them are whack. Sure, yes, they definitely are. But it takes time for them to do, to get where they really need to get, and it's a little easier for them in some regards, because we didn't have the internet back then. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have a whole lot of tools back then. We just took what we had to make what we get. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, um, I don't know. Hip hop being 50, and this milestone and where it is right now. I mean, it's an amazing feat. You know, um, I wasn't sure if it was gonna be this big. I'll say that, because in the '90s I was like, it. You know what I mean? Like, it just seemed so crazy. Like, but it felt like everything was kind of hip hop to me too at the same time. Even though I don't know. The '80s era was so dope, but anyway, the '90s is so crazy. It just felt like everything was. I think that's when it was really like, it hit me like, I was like, "Yo, this is about to be." I don't know where it's gonna be in the future, but this is gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know if
absolutely.
that answers. Yeah, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Hip
It just,
hop
I don't
is
know. It's a trip.
Yeah, hip hop has definitely come a long way.
Long way.
Like any other genre, people gonna have their hot takes about it. Um,
Hmm.
I think it's a very encouraging um for this. and just going back to the Grammys and having that medley of artists
Yeah.
that perform past, present, and future.
Right.
And that was incredible. And given
Mhm.
how the Grammys and hip hop has bumped heads for so many years, but for the
Yeah.
Grammys to give
Recognize.
these
Yeah.
to recognize this milestone and have a lot of these artists on that stage.
Mhm.
And also shout out to Questlove of the Roots
Mhm.
for contributing
Yeah.
to
Shout out
that
to
as
him.
well. And I will say this puts a lot of pressure on the BET Awards because,
Mm.
and I never thought I will
That's
say
funny.
that about the Grammys, given
Yeah.
what they misled and with hip hop, but they set the bar pretty high with that tribute. So I'm gonna be watching the BET Awards this summer, like I watch every year anyway, and I want to
What's
see.
that? Sorry about that.
I'm gonna watch the BET Awards this summer, like I do every year
Yeah.
anyway, and
Uh huh.
we'll see what Miss Lee and
Yeah.
company have in store. It's
Yeah, man. I mean, it's almost like they gotta like the bar is set
yeah,
high, so they gotta really you know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
The bar is set
Yeah.
very
No, it's
very high.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead.
It's a trip though.
Yeah,
It's a trip though, man. Like, cause just with I want to say like as far as I don't know, cause a lot of artists right now are talking crazy like about other artists being on it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I seen MC Shan kind of have these rants and stuff and
Hmm.
go off and like mention Chuck D's name, and I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I mean, I get it. I get what some of them are trying to say, and I understand if some
Yeah,
artist was like, nah, I ain't going to the Grammys, whatever, blah blah blah. But in this case, it's not like they are going there to get a Grammy. Now
no,
we know what Chuck D said. We know what even Ice T said. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And a few other artists. But it's like that's not what it's about right now. It's like, yeah, this was a while ago. I'm not gonna lose no respect for these artists that I love, that I was raised listening to.
hmm,
I think they just they was asked to come out, they was asked to represent, and you know what I'm saying, and salute hip hop. They wasn't there for the Grammy, the rest of it. It was just like, this is what we're doing. We recognize y'all. You know what I'm saying?
hmm,
Um, and they went ahead and followed through and just was like went there, did their thing.
yeah,
So, but all this other talk, man, where it's like, I don't know, man, it's a little out of pocket to me.
yeah.
I don't know. It don't got to be that deep or that serious. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's just like, dude, calm down, man. Y'all overboard with it.
Yeah, they're going
Lord
overboard.
Jamal had a couple of things to say too, but he was kind of
Oh,
trying to be respectful.
yeah.
I don't know.
Lord
That was
Jamal
crazy.
and respectful. That usually don't go in the same sentence if people have been paying attention to his comments in the past. But near
Yeah.
no there. I want to talk about this animal
Oh, okay.
slavery
Thank you.
project.
How you doing? Good, good, good. Thank you. All right. Sorry about
Uh,
that.
so let's
Yeah.
let's let's dive in on this animal slavery
All right.
project. I got a
All
chance
right.
to listen to some of the
Okay.
tracks. I want to
Okay. Tell
point
me.
out that Champion Chicken
Uh-huh.
Funky
Funky P. Yeah.
Chicken.
Uh-huh.
That may be my
Yep.
favorite title of this whole
Ah.
project.
Okay.
So, but overall, I definitely get the premise behind this project. This
Yeah.
definitely, obviously with hip hop, we go back to the history of it. It's about a message. It's about getting your
Mm-hmm.
point across, and
Right.
definitely feels like you and first got your point across with this project. So talk about how this album came about with you two fellas.
Well, first of all, Tahaj, he's a dope producer, so he's always made music, and he always wanted to, get down with me and make something. And we did make a project, but there wasn't a huge release for it like this one. We we still got a couple of things we're doing with that one, but we always wanted to do something, and he blessed me with a arsenal of beats. So I've been holding on to these beats, and I just been waiting to do something crazy to them. So, but the idea of animal slavery, I've been vegan for 20 something years, whatever, before it was even cool, really. You know what I'm saying? And so I was threatening, really, and kind of just saying, oh, I'm gonna make a whole album about this. I wasn't sure how I was gonna do that, or even if anybody would care to listen, or whatever the case was. But I kept, just kind of listening to these beats, and then I was like, okay, let me see how this would go to this, because it just something in the beat was making me kind of want to write that, and I didn't want to be writing something to the obvious, if you get what I mean. Like, just I wanted something different. So I would write one song, and then I would write another. Then I would take my time, and just with the knowledge I had, I just was using that, and then I would do a little research. And I'm just kind of an activist anyway about this, but I wanted to be more of an activist through music. Again, I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. I just was like, just writing these songs, and then I kind of was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make an album, and I'm going to call it Animal Slavery. And I remember telling him the title and telling a few people, and they were like, ooh, hi, wait, let me see, animal slavery? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yes, because this is what it is. You're going to see what I'm saying. And at first, some of the writing was a little over the top militant. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a bit much. So I toned it down just to be like, okay, let me get this, so they can digest this a bit, you know what I'm saying, without me just over styling it and over talking and doing too much. You hear what I mean? So I went ahead, did that, and wrote a few other songs. Thought about the topics I wanted to talk about, but this project, just to go back a little bit, this was like 5 years ago. This idea was, and this is when I started doing them. And I had to, so it was off and on. I had to go back and forth. And when the pandemic came, that's when I really jumped into, like, I sprung into action. So I wasn't out on tour no more. I wasn't getting money and, doing no shows. So all I was doing was painting and, and just drawing and commission work. And that was fine. But, again, it wasn't really enough. And so I had to do a GoFundMe, actually, which I never done, like, by myself. So that was different, and I wanted to do a GoFundMe to finish the album, basically. And because I did, songs here and there, but they weren't finished, they weren't mixed. I wanted to go back and clean them up, mix them, master them, maybe create a few more songs. You know what I'm saying? So I did that, raised a few $1,000s, and I basically got back in the lab, fixed these songs up, wrote a couple of more, tightened a couple of things up, you know what I'm saying? And then I got it mastered, waited a little bit, finished a little bit of the artwork cover, and then boom, it came out. The inspiration basically is I heard a lot of vegan rappers, and I was kind of like, that's cool, that's cute, I get it, but some of it was corny, and some of it was like, okay, yeah, okay. Some rappers was good. Some of them were just like, it's a little much. I didn't want to be preachy. I didn't want to be, I don't know. I didn't want to be too, like, in your face with it. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to go, well, this is the information. This is what happens to chickens over here. This is what happens to pigs. And if you keep eating pigs like this is what happens. This is what cows go through. This is what happens with horse racing. This is what happens if you just keep eating like this anyway. I just wanted to break it down like that. Some things, I talked a little slick on some things, but I definitely wanted to keep it focused and go, hey, this is what happens. This is what happens to them, and they're definitely slaves. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how it all came about. And I know I was telling some of the homies about it, and they was like, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people had doubts, and some people were like, okay, all right, let's, all right, I want to hear this. Because again, I've never done anything like this. I mean, I'm always kind of just, rappy rap, and and I definitely talk about topics, and I've always sprinkled a little bit of my veganism in there here and there in songs, but never like this. I mean, this is more so like about the treatment of animals. You know what I'm saying? Like animal cruelty and stuff like that. There's a couple of vegan songs on there, but that's mostly what it's about. You know what I mean? But I kept the same energy, kept it entertaining. I didn't, get all, I guess, dark and depressing. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
mean, I said what I had to say, but I didn't like go to this place where it's like, making it sound all melancholy and just terrible, and you want to just, you know, make you feel that guilty. You know what I'm saying? I just kept it like, this is what's going on. Boom. All right, next song. Boom. All right, next guy. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So that was, that's it really.
Yeah.
If that answers your question.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Definitely get it.
Uh huh. And I just had to do it. Like it was one of those things where I definitely felt needed to be done. And some people were like, "This is risky." Do you feel like you're taking a risk? I was like, "Yeah, I do feel it's risky," but then I felt like, I don't know, man, it's something new. I just never, I don't know, it felt good to do. Tell stories and which I've always done, but also explain this stuff and just see it all the way through. You know what I mean? Like no veering off, going, okay, this song's about and it's not a metaphor. Like you talking about humans? You talking about no, this is about animals.
So I want to talk
Yeah,
about the album cover. So it's got the
yeah.
world, the globe in
Uh-huh.
the middle. It's got animals.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit of the background behind this album cover.
The background behind it is, well, I was thinking about a few ideas when I was doing this. I was trying to see if I was just going to have these, this slaughterhouse kind of thing at first, and these letters all dripping, and just this chaos going on. But then I was like, let me hold on. So I thought of, oh, what if the planet had these continents, and some of the continents were some animals that people love to eat and just do whatever with, you know what I mean, and expose and exploit. So I just kind of did that and just painted it in there and drew it. Try to it took a while to just get uh figure out how I wanted to do it and place whatever where I wanted to place it, but it finally worked. And then the animals around it, with the chicken wearing a fur coat and having a dog on a plate and some blood, and then you got your polar bears with the tigers in a cage, and an elephant obviously from the circus, and then you got a cow chewing on a steak and then being milked by a bee. Then you got a pig and with the hog's head on top of the plate, and then some eggs on the bottom, and I think there's a rabbit on there too. Maybe a whale. Man, I don't know. I just wanted to put these things in place because it's kind of like you kind of see, and I didn't put the titles on there. I just kind of left it, like that. But I wanted that to just be like a statement. Like when you see it, you're like, oh, you feel a few emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you just go, this is twisted. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna feel something at least. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's kind of what I wanted to do. Just provoke a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, go, hey, this is what happens in a nutshell, or some of what happens. You know.
Absolutely, man.
Um,
This is the dope project. Um,
Thank you.
and
Thank you very much.
it's a unique project. It's definitely different from the casual hip hop album that people will be
Yeah.
accustomed to. Um,
Right. Right.
and I think at the end of the day, You know, it's about getting your point across.
Mhm.
Being with, you giving information on this record, and while at the same time still being witty, clever. You know,
Yeah.
gives get some bars here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Boom,
Yeah,
bam.
yeah, definitely.
So
Yep.
this, this is a an in what's the word I'm trying to say? Enlightening project.
Yeah.
So go check it out. Z-Man, Tahash the first. Shout out to him on the
Mhm.
beats. Um,
Yeah.
it's available on all the platforms coming out.
Mhm.
Actually, it's been out since October. Uh,
Yeah, it's been out
so
since October 20th.
so yeah, so it's out there for your viewing, for your listening pleasure. Um,
Yes.
so go check it out. And so, with all that being said, man, what else you have in the works for 2023 as we approach the spring season? You got
Yeah,
anything
huh?
in the works for this year as of right now?
Yes, I got a few things in the works. Some follow ups to the whole animal slavery thing. A few a few songs here and there that I didn't speak on, just topic wise, and some little cool things. I'm trying to finish this thing, start and finish this this thing called Hella Healthy, uh, where it's a little maybe EP about just being kind of healthy. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing, and then I got this other funk thing I'm gonna do with the homie XL Middleton. I got another thing I'm gonna do with another homie producer, GPEC, trying to finish up uh, a couple of things with him, and yeah, and some more music. Definitely, I have a couple of other things in the making. Just it's just getting it done is all, and plus I got artwork to go with it, so it's quite the task, But yeah, definitely got some things going on, and hopefully by the summer you hear something, and by fall should be some other things out. So yeah, stay tuned, y'all, 'cause it's coming.
All
It's
right, you
coming.
can check out Z Man on the social
Mhm.
medias.
Mhm.
Z Man the
Yep.
original on Twitter. Follow
Yep.
him there. Z-Mainey, Z-Dazzle. Very intriguing
Mhm.
you username.
Yeah.
Z-Mainey,
Yeah.
Z-Dazzle at
Yep.
Instagram. And he has a Facebook fan page as well.
Mhm.
So go check him out. And again, Animal Slavery with Tahash the
Is out.
First is out right
Mhm.
now. Go get
Is
it
out right
on the
now.
platforms. Great having you on the show, man. Thank you so much
Hey,
for
thank
the
you for having
chat.
me.
And
Yeah,
I,
definitely.
I look forward to hearing more material from you. And
Yeah,
and
word. Yeah,
and
I got a lot. I got a lot out there too.
yeah.
So I mean, if you want to check out some other stuff, not to cut you off, but there's a lot more on all those platforms as well. If you hear animal slavery and want to hear something else, um, that isn't that, then I got a whole bunch of that on everything else as well. That's digital, and so on and so forth. So yeah, man. But yeah, thank you very much, Kenny. I appreciate you. Um, this was good. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you dug the album. You know what I mean? Because I don't even when putting this out, man. I wasn't sure who was gonna be into it or whatever or blah blah blah. It's kind of geared to a certain audience, sort of speak. But I'm glad that everybody can kind of listen and go, oh, I get it, and and have a good time with it, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like go, oh, okay, yeah, I dug this and I like this song or I like this and oh, this sounds good and oh, that helped me get through this or yeah, man, I probably need to stop. You know what I'm saying? Something like
Yeah.
um, but yeah, but just hearing that cats really thoroughly listen to it and got it and go, oh, I like that. That's a cool. that means a lot, you know, especially with black people too. To be honest with you, because it's like there's a few songs on there I'm definitely talking to black people, but you know, as a whole, it's like I just you just need people to understand this situation, and it's real because you know we've been doing this so long that it's affecting the whole planet, you know, in many ways, and you know, and not great ways. You know what I mean? Like we all got our minds on a grind and everything else, but we definitely got to just take a moment and go, yo, we probably should be eating better, uh, because it's gonna mess with this infrastructure and this ecosystem, and you know, and this, and you know, and you don't want to contribute to this and that and the third. So, you know, that's kind of why too I had to write this and felt so passionate about it. You know what I mean? Just a different album, man. I just really had to like really do that. And if you like wax, man, I'm sure you were into vinyl. I have some wax coming out. I think in by the end of the year or something like that of this album.
Mm. All right.
You
So
know?
definitely keeping that on that. You
Yeah,
enjoy the rest of your day, man. You enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks again for your time.
yeah. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Enjoy the evening.
All right.
And yeah, that's about it. All
All right.
right.
All right. You take care,
All
man.
right, man.
All right.
You too.
Peace.
And thank you so much.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
cheers.
Peace.